Everybody was kung fu fighting.
10 minutes of studio time left. A B-side nobody cared about, and an 11-year-old who shouldn't have been able to make grown adults weep, but did anyway.
There were funky Chinamen from funky Chinatown.
These aren't the songs that stayed on rotation. They're the ones that vanished while their lesser tracks stayed famous.
I call up at home.
A falsetto recorded by accident that sold 11 million copies. A demo cut in 2 takes that became The Master, and the track that taught Michael Jackson how to moonwalk, a year before the world knew what it was called. 12 R&B classics hiding in plain sight. Most people know the artist, but almost nobody remembers these performances. Number 12, Angel by Angela Winbush. She tracked it in 1987 after a decade as half of Renee and Angela. 2 number-1 R&B hits behind her, and nowhere left to go but solo. And this is what emerged when she finally had complete control. Synthesizers shimmer like heat rising off pavement, while her voice climbs 4 octaves without strain, holding notes most singers can't even reach. The production feels both spacious and intimate, every element placed with surgical precision. Mercury Records knew what they had. This wasn't just another single. It owned the R&B chart for 2 weeks straight, ranked number 9 for the entire year of 1987, and earned Soul Train nominations while never touching the Pop Hot 100. Ron Aisley heard it and decided to manage her career. They married 6 years later. This was bedroom music that happened to have mainstream appeal. Late night radio, where the format didn't matter, because the emotion transcended category. The kind of track that made people call stations asking for that song with the voice. From sophisticated maturity to teenage rawness, watch what happens next. Number 11, Yes, I'm Ready by Barbara Mason. She was 17 when she wrote it. 18 when it peaked at number 5 pop and number 2 R&B in 1965, and the lyrics reflected every bit of that inexperience, which is precisely why it worked. Strings swell with orchestral grace while her voice carries both determination and vulnerability, singing about not knowing how to hold someone's hand, but being ready to learn anyway. The Philly Sound Architects cut their teeth on this session. Kenny Gamble sang backup, Norman Harris and Bobby Eli handled guitars, Earl Young drove the drums. Mason later re-recorded it in 1973, changing the words because she felt ridiculous singing about innocence at 27. The original version became the one people remembered. 14 weeks on the Hot 100, her highest charting solo hit across 2 decades of releases. This was church-trained soul filtered through teenage honesty. the kind of performance that made producers realize authenticity mattered more than technical perfection. You heard it and believed every word, because she meant every word. While she opened her heart completely, the next track required two artists to say what one couldn't. Number 10, Love Ballad by LTD. Jeffrey Osborne took the lead in 1976 when LTD released this From Love to the World, and it spent 2 weeks owning the R&B chart while climbing to number 20 pop. Then George Benson covered it 3 years later and somehow made it bigger. Orchestration builds like a confession, gaining momentum. Horns punctuating emotional peaks, while the rhythm section maintains unwavering support. The arrangement lets Osborne's voice breathe, never crowding the intimacy he's creating with every phrase. 2 weeks at number 1, R&B proved the original had staying power, but Benson's 1979 up-tempo version hit number 3 R&B and crossed over to number 18 pop. The song worked both ways, slow burn or accelerated pulse, because the core emotion stayed constant. This was balladcraft at its peak, the kind of song that made people slow dance regardless of what else was playing. Album track that became a standard, the type stations played during the midnight request hour. From intimate devotion to reconciliation's promise, the mood shifts dramatically. Number 9, Let Love Come Between Us by James and Bobby, Purify.
Girl, if you would listen to what we
They weren't actually related. James Lee Purify and Robert Lee Dickey just shared a stage surname, but their 1967 harmony sounded like blood connection, and this track from the pure sound of the Purifies proved it. Guitars interlock with precision, while their voices trade leads and blend on the chorus, creating the illusion of a single consciousness split between two bodies. The production came from Papa Don Enterprises, the same team behind their signature hit, but this one took a different approach. Less pleading, more resolved. It reached number 18 R&B and number 23 pop, solid numbers for a duo whose previous single had gone top 10. The UK took notice too, pushing it to number 51 across the Atlantic. This was Southern soul refinement, the kind of record that made Muscle Shoals famous before Muscle Shoals became a brand. You heard it once, and the melody stayed lodged for days. While they sang about bringing people together, one man's solo confession was about to change everything.
You know what breaks my heart a little? Only 1% of the people who watch R&B vinyl are actually subscribed. 99 out of 100 of you keep coming back, vibing with the grooves, feeling the stories, reliving the voices that built soul itself, but you still haven't hit that button. Think about it. You've spent time here, maybe even rediscovered a song that hit you right in the chest, and yet you're walking away before the next track drops. Subscribing costs nothing, not a cent, but it means you'll never miss the moments that remind you who you were when that record first played. R&B vinyl isn't just music, it's memory, it's heritage. It's the pulse that still beats under everything we love. Don't just listen from the sidelines. Be part of the 1% who keep the soul alive. Hit subscribe, stay, groove, and keep the record spinning with us.
Number 8. Little Green Apples by O.C. Smith.
Off to school, goodbye. And she reaches out.
Bobby Russell wrote it. O.C. Smith recorded it in 1968. And suddenly, Columbia Records had a reason to keep Smith on the roster instead of dropping him like they'd planned.
It don't rain in Indianapolis in the summertime.
The arrangement starts sparse and builds strategically. Strings enter at calculated moments. Horns punctuate without overwhelming. Smith's voice navigating Russell's lyric with interpretive genius. His background with Count Basie's orchestra shows in his phrasing. He knows exactly when to push and when to pull back. It climbed to number 2 on the Hot 100, blocked from the summit, but impossible to ignore. The Grammy for Best Song followed, Russell collecting the trophy, while Smith's performance became the definitive version despite multiple covers.
There's no such thing as Dr. Seuss, no Disneyland.
This was pop-soul crossover, executed perfectly. The kind of record that worked on both formats because it refused to choose sides.
And I stumbled to the breakfast table while the kids are going on.
Adult contemporary ate it up while R&B stations kept it in rotation. From Smith's mature reflection to pure kinetic release, the tempo explodes. Number 7. Kung Fu Fighting by Carl Douglas.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
Bidu needed a B-side in 1974.
Those kids were fast as lightning.
Had 10 minutes of studio time remaining, and asked Douglas if he had anything. So Douglas showed him some lyrics about martial arts. They worked out a melody without much thought, recorded it in 2 takes while going deliberately over the top with the vocal effects, and sent it off assuming nobody would care. The drum machine propels everything forward with mechanical precision, while Douglas delivers the performance like a play-by-play commentator at the world's funkiest rumble. Those huh and ha sounds came from the Rush job. He figured it was just filler, so why not have fun? Radio DJs started flipping it over from the intended A-side, and people flooded to dance floors. It topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 2 weeks, owned the UK chart for 3, and sold 11 million copies worldwide. One of the best-selling singles in history, all from a throwaway B-side recorded in the last 10 minutes of a session. This was disco, before disco had rules. Novelty that transcended its gimmick because the groove was undeniable. You couldn't not move to it even if you wanted to resist. If that captured 1974's playful side, the next track showed the year's sensual sophistication. Still with us? Drop a comment with your favorite so far. We're just getting started. Number 6. Rock Your Baby by George McCrae. Harry Wayne Casey and Richard Finch from Casey and the Sunshine Band cut the backing track as a demo in 45 minutes. Needed someone to add vocals, and McCrae happened to be in the studio at the moment, so his falsetto went on tape and changed everything. The Roland TR-77 drum machine drives the entire foundation, one of the first pop hits to use programmed drums. While McCrae's voice floats above the groove like weightless seduction, Guitar and bass interlock with minimal notes played perfectly. It topped both the Billboard Hot 100 and R&B chart in July 1974, spent 3 weeks at number 1 in the UK, and moved over 11 million physical copies. The TK sound was born in that session. Casey and Finch went on to 5 more number 1s. But this accidental collaboration got there first. This was disco's arrival as a commercial force, the moment clubs and mainstream radio realized they wanted the same thing. Silky enough for intimacy, driving enough for the dance floor. From McRae's falsetto to Wonder's brass-driven tribute, the energy completely transforms. Number 5, Sir Duke by Stevie Wonder. He wrote it in 1976 as tribute to Duke Ellington, who died 2 years earlier, including Count Basie, Glenn Miller, Louis Armstrong, and Ella Fitzgerald in the lyrics. Then released it as a single in March 1977 and watched it top both the Hot 100 and R&B charts for multiple weeks. The horn section hits with jazz precision, while the rhythm maintains funk pocket. Wonder synthesizing multiple traditions into something that honored the past while sounding completely contemporary. He played most of it himself during the Songs in the Key of Life sessions, building the track with meticulous attention to every element. 3 weeks at number 1 pop, 1 week at number 1 R&B, ranked number 18 for all of 1977. The UK pushed it to number 2, his biggest hit there at the time. Billboard later called it one of the greatest singles of the decade. This was musical education disguised as celebration, Wonder teaching a generation about jazz royalty through a track they couldn't stop dancing to. You learned the names while your body moved. While Wonder honored musical pioneers, one woman was about to prove disco belonged to everyone. Number 4, Right Back Where We Started From, by Maxine Nightingale. Pierre Tubbs and J. Vincent Edwards wrote it in 7 minutes while driving to the hospital for Tubbs' daughter's birth in 1975. Cut a rough demo the next day with Edwards on vocals, then convinced Nightingale to record it within a week. And she only agreed if it came out under a pseudonym keyboards crash with deliberate brightness, while hand claps drive the pulse forward. Nightingale singing in a key higher than she preferred because Tubbs insisted. The entire session was meant as a demo, 4 songs in 3 hours. But this rough take became the master. When Private Stock Records heard it released UK mid-1975, hitting number 8, then US early 1976 climbing to number 2 on the Hot 100, kept from the summit, but unstoppable otherwise. The demo quality became part of its charm, urgency you can't fake with proper studio time. This was bubblegum soul perfection, the kind of record that made people smile involuntarily when the intro hit. Movie soundtracks grabbed it, sports teams adopted it, because that energy was pure infectious joy. From Nightingale's celebration to teenage Motown magic, the story gets even more improbable. Number 3. My Girl by The Temptations. Smokey Robinson wrote it in 1964 for his wife Claudette. Originally planning to record it with the Miracles. But after seeing David Ruffin perform at Detroit's 20 Grand Club, Smokey realized Ruffin's voice needed this song more than he did James Jamerson's 3-note bass line establishes the foundation, while Robert White's guitar plays that instantly recognizable 2-note lick. The Temptations created their own background vocals, those hey 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 responses, and the My Girl echoes, because Smokey trusted their instinct completely. Released December 23, 1964, it topped both pop and R&B charts in March 1965, becoming their first number 1, and the song they literally cannot skip in concert. Try it and audiences revolt. This was Motown's answer to Smokey's own My Guy for Mary Wells. Male perspective on unconditional devotion that became the group's signature forever. Library of Congress preserved it in 2017 as culturally significant. While the Temptations made history with group harmony, one group was about to define the next decade with sophisticated grooves. Number 2, A Night to Remember by Shalamar. Jeffrey Daniel, Jody Watley, and Howard Hewitt recorded it in 1982 for the Friends album. And when UK's Top of the Pops invited them to perform, Daniel couldn't make the trip, so he convinced producers to let him do a solo dance routine instead of the full group performance. Synthesizers pulse with mechanical precision, while Watley and Hewitt trade verses over production from the Silvers Family team. The groove sits in that perfect pocket between R&B and dance music. Never choosing sides because it dominated both the single hit number 5 UK and number 44 US pop, but owned the R&B chart at number 8. That Top of the Pops performance became legendary. Daniel executed a moonwalk on British television in June 1982, a year before Michael Jackson's Motown 25 moment. And Daniel later taught Michael the move personally. This was the sound of early 80s R&B finding its synthesized identity. Sophisticated enough for adult audiences and rhythmic enough for club floors. The kind of track that kept parties moving past midnight. From Shalamar's groove to where this entire journey began, everything comes full circle. Number 1, I Want You Back by the Jackson 5. Freddie Perren, Phonce Mazel, and Deke Richards originally wrote it for Gladys Knight and the Pips as I Want to Be Free. Then Berry Gordy heard it, made suggestions, and decided an 11-year-old Michael Jackson should sing lead instead. The corporation's production stacked Motown session masters with pop-forward arrangements. Michael's voice hitting notes that shouldn't be possible for someone that age. Released October 1969, It debuted their sound to America when Diana Ross introduced them on the Hollywood Palace. 4 weeks at #1 R&B starting January 1970. 1 week at #1 pop the same month. First of 4 consecutive #1s that proved the Jackson 5 weren't a novelty, but a phenomenon. Rolling Stone later ranked it 104 on their 500 Greatest Songs list. This was the song that launched everything: Michael's career, the corporation's production dynasty, Motown's Los Angeles era. Studio veterans recorded it in LA while most Motown production still happened in Detroit, marking the label's geographic shift. Nothing before sounded like an 11-year-old commanding adults' attention with that level of vocal control and emotional intelligence. The appeal was watching a child sing soul beyond his years, making it impossible to look away.